he has not only fucked up his administration, he's not only fucked up everything that he's touched in his life, he's go down in history as the only man who could bankrupt 2 casinos, but now we're on the brink of war. When I say we, the world, there's been peace for the longest in the history since World War II. His people, the Pentagon, and his advisors came in and gave him 6 or 5 different scenarios, and he only picked one, without looking at what the consequences would be. Was a person that he had executed or assassinated or wiped off the face of the earth a bad man? According to intel from all over the world, yes, he was a bad character. But the things that smart people do is they take a look at consequences. He was a high-ranking political figure in Iran. He killed him without consulting Congress, which is in the Constitution. He's a guy who doesn't give a shit about any rules.
It's not in the Constitution.
Yes, it is. It's in the Constitution that Congress has to approve unless, this is what I read yesterday, Bill, unless the president has executive power if they believe it's an imminent threat.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that, Frank, but the fact remains there is one commander-in-chief, and there's 525 stiffs that follow Nancy Pelosi around. That's your deal.
I don't give a shit about Democrats. I don't give a fuck about Republicans. I give a fuck about that there's going to be a war. Now, today, he was backpedaling from his tough talk because through social media, there's an allegation that Iran has put an $80 million bounty on his head, and they're looking at targeting anything that Trump owns. Meaning, whether they do it or not, whether they bomb any of his places or they do anything nefarious to any of his places, nobody in their fucking right mind is going to stay at a Trump property knowing that he's a target.
No, that's a good
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, why would you want to stay at a Trump
and as far as business-wise, it's going to hurt him substantially. All I'm telling you is this. I think that before you make a decision in life, you have to take a look at what the consequences are.
Yeah,
you have a fight with your boss, you walk out, and you get angry, you go back in and say, you're a piece of shit, you fucking dickless bastard, go fuck yourself, I quit. Then you go home and you find out that you're not going to be able to pay your bills and you're not going to be able to get another job, and you just fucked yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to burn any bridges.
So you fight with your boss, you leave the room, you go outside, you take a deep breath, you come back in, you let it slide down your back, and you preserve your family and yourself, rather than make a decision based on an emotion.
And that's a smart decision, Frank. And that's
the point I'm trying to make. You have a fucking guy who is the president of the most powerful country in the world, and he has the emotional aptitude of a fucking rock.